Man, I really feel like I'm just losing a lot of hope. And I've been trying really hard to, you know, get my online career up off the ground and really pursue these different projects that I'm so passionate about, but just having a hard time following through and it's stressing me out. Maybe I need to go get a drink and just clear my head. Dude, it's you. Yo, I've got some crazy hopecore videos you gotta check out. I said I have hopecore videos. Hopecore. Here, it's loud in here, man. Let's go out back and I'll show them to you. Dude, I can't believe you never heard of hopecore before, dude. I mean, dude, you gotta check this out. I told you they were great. They were great, man. You seemed a little down, so I just thought you could use them. You never skip a hopecore video. Hey, aren't you like a programmer, man? You like code and shit, right? Dude, I bet you could make so much money. No, dude, that wouldn't make you a shill. No, brother. Look, in this society, okay, so to understand hopecore, we need to really understand the roots of the abstract of the core phenomenon itself. It actually dates back to the late 1970s and 80s with the musical revolution known as hardcore punk rock. Think of bands like Black Flag, Minor Threat, or Bad Brains, right? These bands that were so much more than just the sounds that they created. They were these walking cultural manifestos that embodied a raw, uncompromising, philosophical rebellion that went far beyond just music. They weren't just bands, they were entire social movements compressed into these little 3-minute sound grenades, right? They were able to employ faster paced, more aggressive music, but that music also directly translated to the anger and strife of the working class. Meanwhile, though, alongside all of this like cultural outlash and rebellion, it was like the notion of being straight edge, right? Minor Threat really brought this around with their song Straight Edge, and Ian MacKaye just really pushed the notion and the concept of it to put alongside that rebellion and the aggressive music and the outlash and the fuck you to suburban conformity, right? You had these people that were also like abstaining from sex, drugs, and everything but rock and roll. And it really changed the narrative of the possibilities of like what a subculture can be and do in a modern society. So I know I just talked about punk rock a lot, but it is so pivotal and so important to understanding this whole core concept, right? Because hardcore punk rock, which eventually became post-hardcore, and then you had metalcore, and you had emo-core, and you had screamo, and you had Nintendo core, for God's sakes, right? You had all these different cores that really started with music and these different musical groups that would form communities around them and develop these core centric ideologies and aesthetics and personas, right? That you would kind of adapt to. And then it's like you see in the late 90s going into the early 2000s with the rise of the internet and things like MySpace, and eventually moving up to even like the 2010s when you have Facebook and Instagram and all these different social media platforms. It was during this phase that we really started to see the concept of like the core suffix start moving away from music. Not that it still doesn't lie there and you still can't associate yourself with certain musical cores and groups, but we started seeing it just expand a lot more. So at especially with like the early internet, you had all these crazy cool websites that really just embodied these abstract cores like cottage core or cozy core or, you know, darkness core. And you can literally think whatever, and there's something that embodies it. Finally, here we are. I'm done yapping about punk rock. Let's talk about a hopecore. Let's get into it, and let's figure out how to mass generate it. Hopecore, the hashtag that'll make it cry even when you're sober. According to Google, hopecore is a narrative and trend that encourages people to seek out positivity and joy in their lives. It's a reaction to crisis fatigue and a way to embrace hope and a sense of purpose. Unless you've hidden yourself away in a log cabin for the past many years, it should be no surprise to you that there's a lot of chaos going on in the world right now. Whether it's the rising threat of climate change, the literal aliens that are hanging out in New Jersey for the past 3 weeks, or that story about how one of the Mario brothers took out a billionaire in Minecraft. It's no wonder people are more disillusioned now than ever before, but this is where hopecore really shines. It's more than just a meme and a joke, right? It's kind of transcending itself. It's transcending the very foundation of the subcultures that it originates from. So whenever you see a hopecore video, I hope you get the same butterflies that I get inside. I hope you see that it's not just a passing trend, but it depicts a larger movement at play and the growth of mankind and culture and society and the elevation of class consciousness into, you know, a brighter future where we all band together as the human race and learn not to take life so seriously, learn to be a little softer, learn to laugh and learn to enjoy the days, learn to have some hope. And for those of you that just cannot do that, do not worry. Let's move on and discuss my latest project. Let's just jump into this so I can show you guys. We're not going to get too technical. I was thinking about doing like a more follow-up technical video where I kind of deep dive it and actually share the GitHub repo so you guys could potentially run this yourself. And then maybe even improve on the features, because this is more of like an MVP. Okay, so we have a project here. You can see this is our main file. You can even see it says main. And what it's doing is it prepares some videos, right? And then it renders some videos. It takes a list of quotes and images and compiles them with audio to create a vertical format video. So I found a cool CSV file loaded with all these different quotes. I turned that into JSON, which is just a little easier to manipulate. And then we have a couple songs. We have everyone's favorite. This is like, for me, this is what I think of hopecore. This is the song. It's Dramamine by a guy named Flawed Mangoes. And we get our placeholder images from Pixabay, which is like a royalty-free way to get images. I hope you guys have had fun so far. If you're still here, thank you so much. Seriously, please like, please subscribe. It means the world to me. I have been attempting to be a full-time creator for about 10 months now. Most of that has been on Twitch and TikTok, and I'm slowly expanding to YouTube as I start to figure out this whole video editing thing. But anyways, let's test this out and let's mass produce some hope. The first thing I need to do is get our images from Pixabay. So that'll be npm run pix. Just real simple little function I have here. You can see it downloaded a bunch of nature images. If we just come check out this function, you can see the query equals nature. We could change this to space if we wanted, right? Our query is going to be space. We are going to grab those. You can see we just grabbed 5 space images. So we're going to look through them real quick. And cool. Okay, so starting this up, we have our space images. We're going to go ahead and run it. And you'll see here in the output, we have our first video. You can see the second video. It's still loading. It's not created yet. And then you can see our third video, which will be loading here in a second. So you can see it's fairly quick. Now, this is an MVP, so it doesn't have all the fun text animations quite yet. but that's not too hard of a next step. So that'll come in the second video. So if you guys like this and you want to see more of like a technical breakdown of what exactly I did, and then maybe deep dive into it and add some more advanced features, stick around. That's part 2. Comment down below. Let me know if you have any cool ideas or if you'd be interested in seeing the repo for this. I do plan to share this down the road once I have it finalized. All right, we have 3 hopecore videos made in less than a minute. So as you can imagine, maybe about 20 minutes a time, I can make a year's worth of videos as long as I have the quotes and images. But let's check it out. That's it. I hope you guys had fun. I certainly did. I'm going to keep working on this. Stick around for part 2. Peace.